Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's Combo Breaker 99. I am back with my post-fight reaction and post-fight thoughts on Katlyn Chookagian versus Antonina Shevchenko. First off, I just got to say that I normally wouldn't pick against experience in a fight, but going into this one, I had to pick against Katlyn Chookagian because at the time I was feeling like even though she had the experience over Antonina, I felt that the mental might have not been there. I felt like maybe she might have been a little mentally broken after suffering such a devastating loss against the Bullet, and then going right back in there facing somebody in the same camp, so that things like that I was just trying to factor in there. And then plus Antonina sharing the same camp with Valentina, sharing the same team, so I figured they were going to get her ready for a fight with Katlyn Chookagian. So just all of those factors going in there, but I'm never going to pick against experience again. Because that's what I usually look at in IQ and just knowing what a fighter's been through. So, yeah, Katlyn Chookagian, she made this a dominant victory. This was a very dominant performance over Antonina Shevchenko. Antonina, there's still a lot that she needs to learn in mixed martial arts compared to Valentina, her being 35. I'm just kind of wondering. I'm just curious how far she can go at this point. And what she can pick up. I'm sure she can. She has great trainers. A very solid sister. That's been helping her train. But it's all up to her on execution. That's something I talked about in my breakdown videos. Is execution. You got to be able to execute it, and that was something Antonina wasn't able to do in this fight. Not in any of the rounds. She wasn't able to get anything solid where she could, just pull out a round or actually have me thinking that she was going to turn this fight around. Katlyn, I had to give her a lot of credit, going right back in there and not even missing a beat. And once again, that just shows you where Valentina stands above all the other flyweights. Because, Katlyn could take a beating against her. She could lose to somebody like Valentina, lose a close fight to Jessica Eye, and go right back in there and, never miss a beat, go right back to it and, be dominant once again. So, yeah, man, just going back and looking at the fight real quick. First off, I just got to say, shout out to Jason Rose. We were kind of talking about and debating a little bit about the ground game of Chookagian versus Shevchenko. But Chookagian, her ground game is solid. She really showed it in this fight. She proved it to me in this fight. And right away, it looked like it was going to be a stand-up fight. They both traded a few kicks right in the beginning of the opening round, except Katlyn did what I say Antonina should do to Katlyn. Katlyn was able to time one of the leg kicks of Antonina. She grabbed the foot, got the takedown. She took her straight down, Antonina straight down to the fence and got on the back. Right away, she got that right arm hooked up under the neck. I almost thought she was going to get to submission right away, man. It was scary, man. She was pulling. It was almost like she was about to get it, but shout out to Antonina. She was able to slide out. Katlyn got right back up under there again, starting to tighten it up, and then she put her weight down on Katlyn. Put her weight down on Antonina. Katlyn put her weight down on her. And after that, once again, when she slips out, then when she gets her back on the ground, she's about to get that back again and almost gets that choke again. She really puts that weight on Antonina. She's laying on her. So the referee, he's kind of looking up under there to see if Antonina is out under there. It's almost similar to the way Antonina had Lucy Pudilova out. It was almost similar to that. That's what I thought was about to happen. But no, Antonina was able to survive. Katlyn just dominated the whole round on her back. She was just hitting her with strikes to the side of the head. She was controlling her with the right hand and then just hitting her with the left side to the right side, doing a lot of damage to Antonina, really taking a lot of wind out of her in this first round and just beating her up solid, on the ground for nearly 5 minutes straight. Antonina couldn't get anything done, couldn't really spring back to her feet and get any kind of game plan going. It was just one whole round, 5 minutes of dominance by Katlyn Chookagian. Second round, it's pretty much the same thing. It started with some stand-up. Katlyn got her to the fence in a clinch, went straight down to the ground once again. In this one, Katlyn had the full mount and was just teeing off again, just grounding and pounding, getting a lot of strikes in on, piling up the strikes on Antonina. It was like Antonina's really helpless on her back, almost the way Katlyn looked against Valentina. Valentina had Katlyn down the same way. She had her pinned down that full mount, was just teeing off, letting heavy strikes go. That's what Katlyn was doing this whole round, just dominate, and it was just a lot of things that Katlyn was doing with her ground game that surprised me. You know, I think it just has a lot to do with her coach. Also working with Claudia Gadelha and Sijara Eubanks. You know, a lot of that's been rubbing off on her. You know, she's really shown a lot of strength and dominance on the ground in this fight. So that was another solid dominant round for Katlyn. Antonina, she just wasn't slippery enough in this. You know, there was no way she could really like get the turn or really like spring to her feet or kind of pop up to get the weight off of her. That's how strong Katlyn was in this fight. Third and final round. Now this round, I was about to give the Antonina for like the first 3 minutes. It was a good stand-up. You know, it was a good stand-up round here, except Antonina really needed to step on the gas. You know, she wasn't timing Katlyn enough. You know, she wasn't homing in with that left hand. You know, she was kind of standing straight in front of Katlyn, so there was a lot of like back and forth in the exchanges. I think Antonina landed more strikes in this round as far as just like, you know, during the stand-up, except that the fact that Katlyn, she just coming back with shots of her own. You know, she was coming back with a straight jab that kind of knocked Antonina off balance, and then she came back with some good body kicks. And then after that, like she closed in the clinch in like 2 minutes in, got Antonina back to the fence once again and was just roughing Antonina up. You know, same as the second round, there was moments where Katlyn was just mauling her. And then like, I want to say what was like 20-30 seconds left, Katlyn goes in, takes Antonina down once again, and the fence is on full mount and just tees off. You know, she just finishes off with some ground and pound, which once again was a scary moment. I thought Katlyn was going to stop her. I thought Katlyn was just about to stop her. That 10 seconds, at 10 seconds went up. Katlyn won the fight pretty much. All 3 rounds in my book. But it was just a dominant performance by Katlyn. There were so many moments in here where Antonina, you know, she just didn't capitalize, like even on the leg kicks of Katlyn. You know, she didn't get anything established. You know, her takedown defense wasn't that good. She was getting bullied into the fence. Like she wasn't sprawling out. She wasn't really like trying to turn or use the knees in the clinch. She was letting Katlyn just dominate her. She never could even get a jab going in this fight. And I think the downfall was not really focusing on her takedown defense. It also kind of standing straight in front of Katlyn and not giving her angles. You know, she wasn't using enough feints. She was too predictable, where Katlyn could just like strike a little bit on the outside, then she would kind of step on the outside, then all of a sudden she could just blast in on Antonina and just bully her and take her down. Like she was using it on the fence or also on the in the center of the octagon. Katlyn just pretty much did what she wanted against Antonina, which surprised me. You know, I mean, going into my prediction video, I did feel like, I always say that, like, you know, Valentina's a different fighter. You know, she's a better fighter. But I thought that some of that would have rubbed off and, you know, she would have been able to, you know, capitalize a little bit and expose some of those weaknesses of Katlyn. But Katlyn, man, a shout out to Katlyn, man. She really improved from the last fight. And also, like I said, proved that she's still above somebody like Antonina Shevchenko. But, yeah, man, from here, I think Antonina just has a lot of work to do. You know, she really needs to go back and, you know, start trying to, she really needs to mix in her wrestling a little bit more and grapple game in there with the striking. You know, she's too Muay Thai. Her stance is too Muay Thai. You know, it makes her a little bit predictable and easy to take down. So she really needs to kind of work on being more versatile. You know what I mean? As for Katlyn, you know, she says she wants to stay busy. She wants another fight. She'll fight anybody. As far as her getting a rematch, hey, if she gets a rematch against Valentina, that's cool. But I think the outcome will still be the same. But overall, I still think she is one of the other top flyweights, you know, right under Valentina. But yeah, man, that's all I got on this, guys. Like I said, Katlyn, she really did prove that her ground game was better than Antonina in this fight. She didn't make it a stand-up fight. She bullied her. She took her to the she took Antonina to the mat. Dominated for 2 solid rounds. She made sure she banked 2 solid rounds, and then kind of had fun in the third round and banked it. But yeah, man, that's all I got on it, guys. Let me know what y'all think, what y'all thought of the fight. What do y'all want to see Katlyn do from here? What do you think Antonina needs to improve on from here? But yeah, make sure y'all subscribe. I'll be back with my Mackenzie Dern versus Hannah Cypher's breakdown as well. Combo Breaker 99. I'm out. Peace.